Morning team, how's it going? How's it going? Okay, starting off on the daily chart. I hope you guys have had a good weekend and all that good stuff, and hopefully you're back here ready to trade. Weekly newsletter went out a day early. We talked about this trade right here into the mean reversion. Right, we've completed it overnight. Lower bowl, top bowl, mean. All right, 20-day mean tagged. Okay, so we've completed the mean reversion off the lower bowl, no acceptance under it, tagged a big key level, came over, set a higher low here, and we've come into this big level. This is a huge level now for sentiment of what happens next, all the way up into 24 420s, which is an old naked point of control. All right, so we can see this breakdown point all the way up into here, basically 420s, maybe a little bit above. Okay, and you can see the 20-day. All right, this is key because this is where we built out liquidity from February all the way to the breakdown end of March, right? So you got about 6 to 7 weeks of liquidity build out in here, which we're coming for a back test of. All right, this is absolutely key. What happens next, right? Do we see a little look inside and sell pressure? Do we see a look inside and sell pressure, which is absorbed for that rotation back up? All right, I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see what we do once we get here. What is key is the headlines. We know we're moving on headlines. We've moved a lot overnight. You would have seen lots over the weekend of an extension now, 48 hours of this extension until we send Iran apparently into the Stone Ages or whatever it is. But then there's talks this morning of them trying to figure out some form of deal to be done. So you can see upside lift off that higher low set, upside lift off that. What happens here, key? We don't really want to be a new money buyer in here. All right, so we're going to need either lower prices or to break through, pull back and find acceptance for the hold. I don't want to be a breakout buyer in this zone. We're asking to get clapped. All right, so let's have a look at that on some other charts then. All right, so previous week, you can see trading inside previous week's value. And we know we've got this naked level, which we failed to tag last week. This naked level right here. We can... Right here is what I'm looking for a trade into, or had been last week, into these 420s. We can see it gets quite congested there. Right, we want to be careful in how we formed up here. We know big squeeze off this low, didn't quite fill this imbalance down here, found a bid, big squeeze again, sideways, held overnight, grindy. All right, so watching how we act into these sort of 400s, there are a ton of stops up here into 550. So let's mark that out so we remember them. We can just put like a little line like this on here. All right, this is where all the stops are living. So if we get through the sort of 420s and we start to set a squeeze, this is where they're going to try and come. You want to be TP most of your money out into there. If they find acceptance over there, then these 8 and 900s that we talked about in the newsletter. But how we get there is going to be the hardest thing right now. Unless you were long overnight on this dip, then you look very, very good. Right, but otherwise, if we look at this hourly chart, we want to be careful. We're trading pretty much inside of previous week's value. Okay, and how we act here and here becomes key. At the moment, we can't find acceptance over previous week's value, which means we're likely to come down and test point of control and then see if they rebid, unless they just set a squeeze out this morning. So what I'll be looking for this morning is a couple things. If they pull back and hold this condensed area, right, I'll consider a bid. Simple as that. If we come under this condensed area and we use it as resistance, I'll consider that rotation trade back down to previous day's value area low. And then if we let go of that to fill some of this into this next node here. Right, in fact, I'm going to just thicken this out a little bit in here so I can remember this boy. Okay, and if we lose that, then obviously we have a rotation to complete back down to these 600s. But a lot of this will be news-driven, headline-driven, I'm sure. So you're not going to need much size right now. VIX remains elevated, still trading at 25s. All right, so those are what I'm looking for. Pullbacks to hold, or if we lose it, I'll consider the short. If we're going to set a squeeze this morning, you want to be careful of two things. One, into here, and that failure back down. So maybe there's a long up into here, TP1, TP2, and then runners if you get it, but if not, failure back down, and we can play backside of that. And the other one would be like a drift into here, absorption to come back up for it. All right, so basically playing this rotation here this morning. If we go mega bullish and we start to hold this, then we can think about that continuation, but we'll deal with that when we get there. That's not my first thought this morning. First thought is for the low hanging fruits and to see what happens. Gamma wise, we're currently positive gamma from overnight. in the NQs, and we have these big resistance blocks, all right, these big cool walls up into 220 or 425. Remember, my level is 420, so that kind of lines up very well with that naked point of control from 2 weeks ago. So we're considering that, right? You can see up here it gets a bit tougher to get through, and then we get room, look at that, right into the liquidity pool. So, you know, we don't really want to be a new money long as we come up into here. We'd much rather be a new money long taking profits into these levels, okay? And again, I'll remind you, very, very, very news driven right now. We need to be careful. All right, let's move through these now. Have a look at the ES. Get rid of that. Same kind of story on ES. It's almost taken out that liquidity from the highs already. We're going to flip these now. These become support structures since we've broken over, and definitely one in here. All right, and then the midpoint one in here. All right, that's ES. We have gap fill below. We're printing above all the VWAPs right now. Let's just change that. What's going on there? Okay. We have gap fill below if they want to do this drift down this morning to 600s, 600 evens. All right, so I'm interested if we come down here, how we act. All right, how do we act? Do we find a bid, or do we lose this for that rotation back down into 550s like we talked about? Very similar to NQ there. All right, coming up into the big key levels, into that sort of naked point, those old swing highs, and finding some resistance there on the first tap in. And if we have a look at that on the spiders, it's going to be very, very similar. Okay, failing to take out the high, coming right back down to this midpoint here, 55. So if you're trading SPY, you're watching 655. So you've already filled the gap on SPY, interestingly. But if you drift a bit lower, you're watching 655s and 650s. All right, so is this a backside move? 655s, do they find the bid and come for this liquidity, or do they lose this? And do we play that rotation down to 650? It might very well be choppy here until we get these announcements on Tuesday evening, folks. Just be very, very, very aware of that. All right, very aware of that. We lose 50s, then we can think about that flush back down to reprice some of this. Okay, but we're not thinking about that until that point. I'm thinking that this is probably a rotation in here, and it's just depending which side of the rotation we're looking to play until it proves otherwise. Qs are going to look pretty much the same. All right, look at that. QQQ is actually taking out this liquidity. Interestingly, coming into these same kind of resistance levels. Look, 590 stacked up to 595. All right, lots of resistance. Remember, like we talked about, these are back tests, all right, of areas that we broke down from. Do not forget where you are on the daily. These are areas we broke down from as we come into these pools, all right, as we come into this pools where we are pre-market. The closer you get to this, the more risk off you want to be. So if you are long overnight, you want to be ready to get risk off into this, because I would imagine there are a ton of bears waiting up there. The only thing that's going to change that is if, you know, we come into here Monday, Tuesday, and then Tuesday night they go, deal's done, boom. All right, you probably get this move here. All right, deal's not done, boom. We get that move there because we're building out. This is nothing more than a back test, okay, until we reclaim this. That's all I'm trying to say. Just remember where you are in the higher time frames. It will serve you well. All right, so a morning flush this morning, we can look for that gap fill into 85s if you're playing QQQ, or even a bit deeper, and then see if they want to bid up. If they lose that, we can play that rotation. Dixie, all right, pulling back in a little bit here. Like we talked about, if that starts to break out, right, I would be expecting downside on the market. All right, so if Dixie builds out this liquidity, if it does manage to break out here, this would be downside pressure in the market. VIX remains elevated, like we talked about, up at 25. So let's have a quick look at that. Still in the channel, like we talked about. We've gone from one side of the channel. We're coming back down towards the other side of the channel. Surprise, surprise. All right, starting to find some bids turn up at this other side of this daily channel into 23s. Right, nothing has changed here, folks. We've been in this grindy move up in the VIX for a long time. All right, so we just have to watch this. We lose 25s. We flush down into 23s. That's the top of the channel. I would expect them to start trying to bid there. If we start to lose that, maybe that's the crack, and whether we get the market seeing some more upside pressure. All the time we're just doing this dance here, I expect rotation and chop. All right, all the time we're doing this dance here between these pivots. All right, nothing to really do other than play rotational plays. Let's have a look at the mag. All right, Apple into this key level, same level from the last few weeks. You can see, right, this is now resistance. I can move this up a bit. All right, doing that dance up and in. Walls above it into 57s, and gap fill. We're just basically there already, just trading sideways really. It's a very slight gap up. So we're just seeing on that extended into these key levels again. So it depends whether the market is ready to do a breakout through those. Amazon, same kind of story, a little bit weaker, not quite up at these 13s, right? Opening up pretty much flat, not too much edge here. Google, nice rally back on Friday, really good rally back. So it's strong move, pullback has held. That's really, really strong from Google. I'm very impressed. A little bit jealous that I'm not in any of this, but as we can see, we're coming into these sort of condensed levels into 300. So 300 is where it's trying to get up into, and you'd imagine there'll be some profit taking into that move because that's a very, very decent move up, about 10% of a move up. Meta, same kind of story. This is one that I'm long in, and need to be careful into here. Again, same kind of story, right? Coming into that condensed level. Very slight gap up there on Meta. Let me just check. Yeah, slight gap up overnight on Meta. So we'll see if pullback holds the gap and if they can sort of drift back in towards these 590, 600s. Microsoft, this has been the weak one. Again, I am long in this. I'm not sure if we're going to come for a deeper undercut here. If we do, then I'm interested in loading the boat a little bit more. But I am long in this already in Microsoft, and we'll just see what's going to happen. I've just got feelers out on most of these for now rather than big size. But we held this pivot. You can see Softy held this pivot. All right, broke out, held the pivot, coming back up. And the question now is, can we complete that rotation, take out some of these stops into 80s, and then drift back up towards the 90s? That's the question that we're posing right now on Microsoft. And the big one, Nvidia, like we talked about, it held the 70s, right? Reclaimed 70s. This was an important day on Friday for it. All right, reclaimed, or Thursday, sorry, reclaimed the 70s, held the 70s. If we're going to finish this trade the other way, we should technically come to the other side of range. Whether it can do it or not is a big thing right now. We're right at the big gamma level here at 80. Huge, huge level at 80. So that's your rotation. 70s to 80s, above 80s, we find acceptance to go higher. All right, folks. That be us. Make this nice and big for you guys. Hopefully you all had a good weekend. You're rested, ready to go. And we'll just see now. We'll just see what we get here. Do we come in for this gap fill? Do we find a bid on the view up on previous day's value? Or is this market just going to flush the whole thing back down? I have no idea. It feels very, very emotional out there right now, I would say. Having looked at what happened overnight, it's very emotional across the board. These moves are very, very big, and anything can happen. It's not like the war is over. It's not like a deal is done, and it's not like Iran has stopped sending missiles. All right, they even came out this morning saying we won't do a ceasefire. That makes no sense. It's the end of the war or nothing. But whether you believe these headlines or not is up to you. But they're definitely moving the market. All right, they are moving the market. All right, 15 seconds left here. Good luck, everybody, and we'll see what we get here. Just going to let this settle down a little bit for me. See if we can come in a little bit. So coming back up to previous week's value area high here. So they found the dip right now, previous day high. Just want to see how we rotate for the first couple of minutes here while they get through all these big orders. So just doing this dance inside of previous week's value right now. Mag, mostly green other than Nvidia and Microsoft. It might be that we need a liquidity building day here for them to just rotate for a session or two. Very, very possible. Very, very possible. So right into previous week's value. If they squeeze over this, then they'll come and test these levels up here into 400. Remember, 420 is the aim, but at the moment, tapped into previous week's value, no acceptance through it. ES found a bid this morning in front of its VWAP, again coming into big resistance up here at 640s. Very possible that they need to finish the rotation to 420s on NQ, but they're going to have to absorb first. VIX just hanging around the 25. So we've just been here for what, 2 or 3 sessions now on the VIX without being able to do anything. No move away either direction, just stuck at the 25s. And it wouldn't surprise me if today is like a rotation while they make their mind up. We'll see. If we find acceptance over previous week's value, then I think 420s are very, very possible here. But it would be a squeeze. You can see getting stuck at previous week's value for now. So do they pull back and hold the 300s here? This is where sellers last came in on the way up. Again, no trade here for me at the moment. Not really interested in this market. Where we've opened, I don't think it's a great open. Testing these sellers at 320s. They're going to come test 300 and see if they find a bid here. So it cannot get back through previous week value area high so far. Not on the first attempt anyway. Back towards these 300s. And if they absorb here, they will have a go. All right. If they absorb here, they will have a go. They'll try and set a higher low. It's big if right here. So I want to see what they're doing. Buyers still coming in. The VPOC now set at 35s. Here they go. They're going to have a go now. They're going to have a go to try and get through that previous week value area high. Let's see if we can join this for a little bit of continuation up to the 420s. Here we go. It's previous week value area high. Can we squeeze up to 420s now? So in this now for this breakthrough. The second attempt. Any dice here? Can we find acceptance above 350s and go to 420s? Lots of guys stacked up towards 400. Nice big buyer coming up here at the top. And I want to be careful of this. We need to hold above 60s now. Really good. Moving my stop into the money just in case they fail, because a big buyer came in here. Scalping some out. And they want to hold this rotation back to 40s now. If they're going to finish this move to 420s, they're going to hold 340s. And ES needs to get going over the 640s as well. It's a big level on ES. We can't hold this 640s to take the rest off. Paid myself a scalp. This is VPOC. Let's get some volume on here before I forget. There we go. It's a good hold so far. They need to complete the move soon. All right, on these runners up to 420s. They've got to go and do it soon. Otherwise, we're going to get stuck down here. Good hold so far. Book's a little bit messy here. Big level on SPY. That's 640 on the SPY. Remember, we're looking to complete this move up to 420. Here we go. They're going to have a go. So let's see if we can finish this move. Can we get up to 400 and 420s? This huge level on SPY right now, these 640s. Massive gamma level. If we get through that, we've got room. But otherwise, SPY is going to make this very hard, or the ES, sorry. It's also, this high is the mean reversion, so we want to be very careful up here. Okay, taking this off them as we rotate back down. I'm not going to hold on to it. No acceptance. Cannot hold the acceptance up here. 20-day and value, and we come straight back down into this New York Open. And just going to leave this alone again for a minute, let them shake out. As Nvidia starts to lose a bid here by the looks of it. And that big level on ES, that 640 level, that huge gamma level, just got slammed. That was the big slam in the face, was the ES. Here comes the rotation. Okay, so watching this now, and I won't really touch this now until we come back to sort of 200s, 190, 200s. We're going to need to drift into for me to want to do the next thing, which will be previous week's point of control, somewhere around there. We've got to drift into this level here to gain my interest now. Otherwise, not much to do. That is Nvidia and Microsoft losing a bid there. The rest of the market looks okay still. QQQ coming in for gap fill. SPY's just filled the gap down here. All right, so you have divergence. SPY has now filled its gap. QQQ not there yet. And SPY coming into that big gamma level now of 55s. So we might just rotate the options market all day today. It would not surprise me given what we've done overnight, but we're about to find out. Fix back over 25s, a little dunk over, a little push back, little dunk under, a little push back over. Into previous day high here on QQQ. Gap fill on QQQ will be a move into 85s. SPY's already filled its gap. We've got to come deeper now for me to want to bid. I do not really want to bid up here, but we're holding previous day value area high. On the hourly, it just looks a little bit messy. I can show you what I'm looking at. All right, we're pulling back in and holding this range here. This range here. All right, I'd actually like us just to do one of these now to know that we're strong. Otherwise, if we can't do that, we go inside yesterday's previous day's value, not yesterday, and we rotate that. So I want to see this move here for me to be positive about getting long now. All right, I need to see something like this for me to want to get long. Otherwise, if we start failing in here, this rotation here all day becomes possible, just like we did here, and this will become very, very messy. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do that today, if we just get stuck down there. Okay, holding previous day value. Didn't quite get into it. Coming back up to current point of control since the Sunday open. This is a huge level here into 300s. If we get back through over 300s, they'll have another go at getting back to the 420s. So this is a big level here. These 300s to 310s where the sellers last came in. Yeah, it's PMI at 10 o'clock, folks. You got 20 minutes. ISM PMI from March, and then 3 other ISM prints. You can see this 310s, 313s. That's the level that sellers are trying to defend right now. Set this lower high. Again, I'm not interested in this unless we come down here and hold. Good absorption off the New York Open so far. ES is going to be the big problem here. The divergence with the ES is going to be a big, big problem today. It's closed its gap. We haven't tested neutral gamma 55, the high volume node, and we failed the ES level of 640. So there is divergence across all the indexes right now. If this market gets going back over 313s, and we're going to go and test 350s again. So they're trying to hold the dip here to get above these 10s to get up to 50s, right? Because sellers came in at 13s. All right, they're trying to hold the New York Open right now. Sellers are trying to get this Buyers are trying to complete this move. That's the trade right now. 13s is a big, big level. Buyers trying to find absorption here to get up to 13s. Sellers still defending inside of 10s. But I think 13s will be tested. That's where the seller came. Here they come. Here's the test of 13s. They're trying to get up into it. And if they get through that, they're going to try and rotate to 50s. So 13s is the level that sellers will want to defend against. If they can't do that, buyers should get the move up to 50s. So here they go. They're trying to get all the way up to 50s now through the 13s. Big level here. You can see the importance of 13s right now. Can't hold a bid over it. If we can, 50s is where they want to go. And then through 50s, they still want to get to 420s, folks. Their aim of the game today is to get to 420s if they can. It's a big if, but that's what they are attempting to do. Here they come. So coming up over 13s, trying to get to 450s. There was a buyer caught this morning at 63s. There's not huge excess up there, but if you are long in this, you want to be locking in some profit into 40s and 50s. And then if you find acceptance over 60s, then I think you finish the rotation to 420s. And you do not really want to see this lose a bid of 300s now. So here's the move back through the 13s, up towards the 50s. Remember, over 50s, I think we've got a really good chance of printing 420s today. Here we go. Really good. Can we do a little bit more? Can we get through the 50s and go 420s is the question right now. So we're holding over 13s. Can we get over previous week value, over the 20-day moving average? This is a huge level up here. And if we can, this is the target. Remember, this is the naked POC I think we want to come into from 2 weeks ago. We've been looking for this trade into here for quite some time. It's a shame we weren't long overnight. Maybe some of you were long overnight. Yes, desperate to get up there. Remember, 640 is your big gamma level on ES. It's also right around the 20-day and the previous day high. Here they go. So they're testing 340s here. Can they get through 350s and find a bid over previous week value? If they can find a bid over previous week value, they can go for 420s. If they can't find a bid over it, we're just going to stay in a rotation of previous week's value. Look at VIX, just doing the 25 dance. So we went under it, we went over it, we went back to it, we're back under it. It doesn't know what to do at these 25s. It hasn't known for at least 2 or 3 sessions right now. But the longer we're up here, the worse it is for the market, I'd say. Pinning at 25, it's not like pinning in the 15s. Pinning at 25s, increased volatility. All right, opening range now set, folks. And they're going to look, they look like they want to come and test this. All right, it's what they want to do. They want to get up to these 420s. They're having a good old crack at this. They've got to get through the 50s and get up to the 420s. What they're trying to do. It's a good effort. Can they come and find acceptance over previous week's value area? It's what they're desperate to try and do at the moment. Keep coming and tagging into it. Can they get over this and extend up? Can they get the 420 test? I'd say buyers this morning got caught at 63.63s. Okay, so that's the edge for buyers right now. Basically your value area high. A buyer, big buyer, got caught here this morning at 63. All right, so how we act into that matters now. They're almost there. They've just got to squeeze a bit more. Here we go. Here we go. All right, can we complete this now? Can we complete this now up to 420? Are they willing to complete this move up to 420 now? That's the question. Have you got anything left? Can you hold point of control up here now? Can they hold the print up here to complete this move? Great. Really good. Come on, just extend. Just extend. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Beautiful. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Just squeeze, 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 squeeze. They're all up at 400s. Let's just get through 400s and go 420s in one shot, please. Sellers up here at 400. I want to just see us rip through 400. Let me just see if there's a big boy up at 420s. Nope, not really. Where's there a big boy? Do we have anyone? 440, 450. So need to hold this pullback, otherwise be out. I'll just let this come further back in if they can't hold this pullback. This is the level that they need to hold now, this high volume node. Don't want to see them lose this and trade right back down to VWAP. So I want to see them hold this now. Again, ES cannot get through that gamma level of 640. The divergence is palpable, all right? So ES is basically keeps getting into the equivalent of this and failing. We need to be aware of that. You have divergence here. Come on, baby. Value area high for the day. This is where the buyers last got stuck. If ES can get back through the 640 and hold a bid up there, we're getting to like a squeezy kind of territory on ES. Come on, baby. Yes, can't get through those 640s. Please don't say things that aren't true. ES is not broken out. Please stop. It's not broken out. It's not broken upside. It's not done anything yet. Please stop. Don't lie in the chat because you'll get other people stuck who will believe you because you're not telling the truth or you can't read the chart properly. It's definitely not what's happened. Yeah, the wall has got absolutely everything to do with it. Yeah, it's exactly it. Well, we're still holding up here. It's just, can we complete the rotation? They're trying one more time here. They're trying to get up to these 400s and then 420s, 450s. Here they go. Come on, just get me filled on my runner. Go, 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 go. Please. More buying coming on here at 70s. You want to be very careful. They're piling in. This is all bid size side now above 60s. If they don't complete the rotation, you're going to see a lot of buyers get stuck. Yeah, I don't like what I'm seeing up here. Strong selling coming in. They've got to absorb. My out is 50s. I'm not letting it come under 50s. That's my out. Last time we came to 50s, we trapped a seller under 50s, down to 40. But if we let him get back in the money, there's a very quick flush back all the way down to 300. So I want to be careful because this is the worst location of the day. And ES again, stuck up there. Trump doesn't have an ultimatum at 10 a.m. I don't know what you're talking about. He did a 48-hour extension yesterday. There's no ultimatum at 10 a.m., not that I'm aware of. Okay, buyers now stuck over 70s, over 75. Biggest buyers stuck at 73 and above. We've got to get back over that for the squeeze up to 4s. 4s, 420, 450s. Come on. Just get me my runner to go just once in the last week. Can you just do it, please? Come on, get through value. Go, 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 go. Get my runner going. There's so much liquidity up there to go and take out into 4s. Come on. One big boner will do it. Come on. Don't come back for the imbalance. Go, go, Go. Go. Just come and hit 420s and I can be out and done for the day. So much faffing up here. They're going to come back for the imbalance into 74s. They have to hold that now. Here they go. Still didn't tag the imbalance. Come on. Oh my God. This is painful to watch. ES can't get through. And again, ES into the 640. This is another attempt of ES into 640. It's a huge level here. Come on. Come on, NQ. Go 420s now. Yes. Thank you. There's 410s. All right. Taking some off into that. Lots of buyers getting trapped up there. Really nice. Really nice. You see that ES level's massive, man. That 640 level on ES. You have 9 minutes till news now. You would need a bid to hold, in my mind. If you're going to hold this, you need a bid to hold 84s. Otherwise, they're coming down to 74s. You do have good access on that last move. We haven't completed the move to 420s, but we were there or thereabouts. That was good enough for me on that shove. You can't hear me? Well, you better turn your speakers up then, hadn't you? When did I enter in? Once we started reclaiming that level where I said from 13, was it 13s to 50s? So I started entering in the 13s to 50 rotation, peeling some off into 50s. They're trying to get full 20s here. They're trying to complete this move. I'm done with it now. Locked in my money. Okay, if they can't hold this up here, you're going to come right back down to these 350 kind of levels and test that. Again, I'm nothing in this now. ES, that 640 level. It does not like it. It really does not like it, that gamma level. Remember, we're coming into a 2-week naked POC here. Where are we on the chart? Can I get my high time frame? Right, this is what we're coming into. As a reminder, this, right? 2 weeks ago, naked POC. You can see how much we rotated here. Before that, it's the edge of value, basically, for the last, what should we call it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. All right, so we're trading into the 5-week balance range. This balance range, which dates back to the beginning of Feb, all right? So we're new money long into that as a day trader to take our money off. I don't want to be a new money long in this block now, all right? The only trade left, really, if you get lucky and they do it for you today, you'll come and sweep these stops up at 540, 550, all right? So if you get lucky, you get runner up into there, but you want to be very close, very careful trading into this, all right? Because this can be a poke in, maybe they do this, and this can be a rotation back down while they build it out. If they find acceptance in here, right, maybe later today or tomorrow, we can think about that trade, or Wednesday, into this 2-week untested naked POC, right? Again, all of this was in the newsletter, but basically 900s is possible. If we find acceptance up into these 4s, 9 becomes possible, all right? If we sweep, and this would be an A+, and we don't find acceptance, this becomes very possible because we didn't finish this rotation down here. All right, so I'm considering both sides. Probably not both sides today, probably over the next 2 or 3 days. Again, very, very, very news-driven market right now. Very emotional market. You can feel it in the tape. It's super emotional. All right, well over 2,000 of you watching here. Smash that like button for me. I would like to do some giveaways, as always. So smash that like button for me. Yeah, lots of you getting that from the looks of it. Here we go. Move back to 50, back to VPOC here, possible. And I'm not in this now. think the first test is always the best test. We were there or thereabouts. It didn't complete the rotation, but got near enough for me. Is there any Trump event today? I'm sure there will be, but the scheduled event is probably like, what, 30 hours from now or something. But you know, I'm sure he'll tweet or say something. He always does. Alex, any words of encouragement? I lost at XFA last week. I did get a payout from it. Well, if you got a payout from it, you're probably net positive on it. You just got to go again. Go again. Realize what you did wrong. It's part of the game, especially with props. It's part of the game. So I say, take your money out, put it into investment accounts for yourself, whether that's in the market or in properties. Or again, I'm not a financial advisor, but you should be using your money from props to make your passive money elsewhere, in my mind. Oh, 1 p.m. Eastern today. Okay, well, thank you for that. I will not be on stream for that. You can have a good guess at what he's going to say anyway. You don't have to be a genius at this point. I would say, I think the language he used at the weekend on social media was a disgrace, given that we have young boys and girls that will look up to him as a leader of the free world. I really don't think he needs to be using the language he does. It will be studied in years to come. It's a shame, regardless of whether you support him or not. I think just some decorum would go a long way. I know I give profanities all the time on stream, but I'm not the leader of the free world. I think as the leader of the free world, you do well to remember you've got very young children looking up to you every day in school. Okay, ES now finally through that 640 into its next level of 645. Through that as squeezes on. Can I show my indicators? There's just two, really. It's flow zones, okay, and GEX. All right, these are the options levels. These are my levels. Everything else is just VWAP. It looks messy because we're very, very condensed at the moment. Okay, ES back into the 640s. VIX starting to drip and drip and drip here, all right, which is good for the market. But 24 is the next level. And then under 24, 23.88 on the VIX. Yeah, newsprint coming, quite right. 40 seconds. Doesn't seem to be able to break pre-market high. Well, the main reason is not the pre-market level. It's if you look left, it's the naked point of control, all this thick level. All right, this dates back. Well, really, it dates back even further to the beginning of March. All right, so we've got a month worth of supply here. Remember, this is the edge of that balance range in here. And the naked POC for me is at 420 is what I'm watching. Here we go. So they're going to tag this gamma, and what happens up here becomes key. So did we tag 420? We got to 16s. We got pretty close. Yeah, 18s hit. Let's see if we can hit these gamma levels. Naked POC for me is 20s. From 2 weeks ago. And if we get through that, if you're in this for a long, your next level through the naked POC, which you've just tagged, right? So should be 80% of your position out if you're still in this. And the next level is 550s. It's a big ask, but we have a lot of stops up here. Okay, a lot of stops up here. But there you go. Naked POC hit. Buyers caught. That's a good auction at the highs. Buyers caught up there. Buyers were caught at 435 and at 450. That's Good buyers caught up there at the highs, all right, just to be aware. So very strong possibility that we fade back in after tagging this now. Very, very strong possibility. I will let some structure be built out. But in here at these highs, there is some buyers caught. All right, we can see this is all buy side above the 400s. That's a good auction. If we start failing and moving away from these, especially if we come under previous week's value, there is a rotation possible now. Beautiful move. Great move. That's exactly what we expected. It's a great move. Remember, this was the expectation. What happens next will dictate what the next trade is. This was the expectation into this node here. POC. Tagged. All right. The only thing left if they want to come up is here. But if they start to fail this, we will see this rotation back in because they've now hit the low-hanging fruit. All right. That's the low-hanging fruit for me. And the next thing would be, if they fail this, will be a rotation back inside the range. Very, very possible. Am I in position? No, I got out of the position. That's what I wanted. I had that long up into there, but I sold mine into 410s. So I missed out on an extra. I mean, I wouldn't have got 450s. I would have only got 420s. That's what I was looking at. I missed 10 points, but I really, like I say, I'm not going to be a dick for a tick. Just trading my TPT today while I wait for some other payouts to come through. So the same account here, my pro account, same one as last week. Just added like another 1,200 bucks in, and we'll see if we can make a bit more on that. Took another payout last week on that. As you can see, I'm up just under 11,000 on it again after paying myself 4 or 5 on Wednesday or Thursday. Am I looking to short? Not yet. I'd need to see this market like start to fail and leave liquidity trapped. I'm very aware of this kind of shape of this profile right now, but that's a good spike up and fail. I'm gonna need to see us move away from key levels. Like at the moment, ES is still bidding 640. Okay, well, I think we might. It's possible we go in a rotation. I don't really fancy trading a rotation today in between these. Right, so I would need to see us stay heavy here, come back down to here would be at one trade, and if we got under these, this would be the second trade back down to here. But it's very possible we do this. Very, very possible. Please read the title of the screen. Please look at this on the side before you ask questions that are really, really amateur hour, please. Back into value area low. So we'll see now if they start to lose the bid, there'll be a full rotation down into here, but this is where we broke out from. So we need pops to start to fail here. We don't want to just like lean on this for the sell straight away if we're going to go on a rotational move. Yes, sorry, VIX finding a bid in front of 24, coming right back up to 25. We're just in a rotation here. They're going to lose this bid and come right down to that New York Open. So ugly without giving any bounce to sell back into. So back under value now. I'd be watching sort of anywhere from 300 to 350 to see if these buyers get stuck. But this just looks ugly for a rotation. But let's see if they can lift up and buyers get stuck. I'll be interested in the sell. This is the test of value area low here. Really, we need to kind of fill some of these imbalances a bit higher first. We can see what's what. So I'm interested in a sell. If we pop and fail and leave them stuck, I want to be very careful into this. It's value area low test. I'm just hovering around here, not seeing follow through yet. Lots of bids stacked down to 60, so I wonder if we can come and clean that out to the low side. Here come the sellers trying to get that breakdown. All right, let's see then. Here we go. Can we get down into the 60s? Nice. Sellers last came in at 302, so that's what I'm now watching. 302s. If we go back through 302s, I won't hold on because we can lift up to 350s. 303, 302, 303, that's the shelf where the sellers just came in. ES is at VWAP right now, just to be aware. Nice. Here comes 70s. This is the New York Open, remember. Sellers at the beginning of the day got stuck at 55s, so I'll be watching that. Also going to be aware of VIX into 25s. Here's the retest 302. If they get through 302, there's a lift right up to 350 here. So we'll not be holding on above value, basically. If they're going to squeeze, they can squeeze and I'll cut it. And then I can look to re-enter up there. Trying to play the continuation trade down. It's not ideal, really. I would have much rather they lifted up here earlier. This is where we bid from this morning. So I'm looking at the moment to complete this rotation. I want to be very careful between these VWAPs now. All right, looking to complete this rotation down into this, this, and this. I want to be careful at 350 because it's where a seller got caught this morning, down here. So ES going 24-hour VWAP to New York VWAP bounce. That's what I'm saying. I want to be careful as we're between these right now. Can just be a non-direction kind of morning today. If we go back inside value, we can just chop inside here. So if we can't continue lower, we're going to come back in and chop. So the trades really are this, down into this would be magnificent, but definitely covering some into here. Otherwise, we can do this all day like I talked about. I won't trade that. If we're going to do that all day, I'll leave it alone. But now we tagged 420s. That was the main move. We can see if we want to do this now. There are bids much lower here. Again, seller got stuck at 55s this morning, 22.55. So I want to see how we act into sort of that kind of level. Yes, just bouncing between the two VWAPs. So these 302s, if they break this, then go 350s. So I'm not going to hold above this shelf because they can just squeeze straight up to 350s. And I'll think about the short up there if we do that move. If buyers get caught up there, that is. There they go. So I'm out this now. Let's see if they want to lift to 350s. And I can think about another position up there. And if we just reclaim 350s, then I won't trade anything at all because it just means we're going to go back into slop. They've got to reject 350 somewhere up there for me to be interested in the next trade. I need to see buyers get caught in the lift up towards that zone. Otherwise, there's just no trade. Sloppy action. Here we go. I'm going to try and get up to 350s now. There's imbalances all the way up into 44s. The shelf is at 47 to 50. They're trying to get up into that, and then they will have to make their mind up once we get up there what they're going to do. Buyer coming in here at 18s. They want to lift to 50 at the moment. It's what they want to do. They want to go for that back test to 50s. Failed it. That was quick. Back to VPOC now. Big level here at 300. If we let go of this, we should complete the rotation. So I'll see if I can get involved again. Didn't quite lift high enough for me. But there we go. Oh my God. You nasty, nasty, nasty bugger. Didn't feel one imbalance there. Yes, rejecting 20-day. Right, if we stay heavy versus 300, I'm interested because that's where the buyer last absorbed at 10.10. So I'll watch this 300, this little tap back in here. We caught a buyer at 16s on that last shove up, but this move into 10s is important. It's where the buyer last came in and tried to absorb. So got a little piece on now. Let's see if we can complete the rotation lower. If we break back above that 300 level, cut again. Here's a 300 test. If we break above that, I'll cut. I'm only small size. I'll cut because we'll probably come and test 17s, and then I'll rethink about something there. So watching this 300 test here. VPOC down here now for me. Here we go. So cut this. So then we're going to go and test the 17s again. And if we get through the 17s, maybe we go 50s this time, which they failed to do first time round. God, they're going to make this hard. This is like last week. I don't really want to diddle in the middle, so I've got to really have a good think about this. Whether I want to trade this or the 50s. Probably the 50s. There's no famous Tyson trade here, guys. You're literally talking nonsense. There's no Tyson trade. We're not even at the initial balance hasn't even been set. Please stop. People saying stuff which just isn't true. How are you playing an IB rotation when we haven't set the initial balance yet? Please stop. Talking nonsense. All right, here's the lifter towards the 50s. This looks very sloppy now, back inside of it. Look how ugly this looks at this point. If they don't reject 50s here, then I think we just rotate this whole thing all day long, and I will probably just leave it alone all day long. Just have that one big winner and the little scalps off that, and then that's it. So key level here. ES back to that key level as well, the 40s, and if it starts reclaiming this, God knows what they're going to do with it. VIX in no man's land as well, stuck between 24 and 25s. This is the 50s test, towards the 50s. We've filled the imbalances now. And the buyer last came in at 17, so if they hold the bid there, they can try and squeeze more up for the rotation. I'm interested in this if we fail. Seventeens is the level where the buyers came in, still protecting 17s. So they're trying to sell into it. Here we go, testing 17s. Are they going to reabsorb this? They're trying to bid there for now. This is ugly. No man's land then. If they can't sell this now, can't do anything with it for the rest of the day. It's this or nothing. Otherwise, we're just going to do this. There they go, trying to squeeze. Back to previous week value area high. And they're going to complete this rotation back through value up to this upside now by the looks of it. It's, yeah. No, not interesting for me now. A VIX as well, just like stuck between 24 and 25. Can't make its mind up. Pretty ugly. Buy here, there's no way I'll be a buyer here. No chance, mate. Zero chance. We've tagged higher time frame supply. We've rejected higher time frame supply. We've pulled back into the midpoint of the range. There's no way I'm a buy here second time round. Even if it moves higher, that goes against everything I believe in. So I will not be a buyer here. Even if it goes 550, there's no way I'm a buyer here on a second time round. Sorry, just not going to do it. Everything's flattened out though. So if you look at the VWAP stacked with the flow zone, stacked with the previous week value area high, stacked with point of control. Everything's stacked. Doesn't mean it can't go high. It's just I will not be a buyer up here. It's a choice for me. I don't want to buy into where all these guys got stuck. Still bids on the tape here, trying to chase it up. Mixed bag on a mag as well. VIX coming down to that 24 level. This thing doesn't know what it wants to do. Not interested. Hands off the mouse for me. Incoming Alex trade. I don't know, man. I'd be careful about looking for that. We're holding above the VWAP, holding above value rate high, holding above VPOC. Tape slowed right down. We're starting to get pretty tight on action. Just going to let it build out for me. Even the mags like mixed, like Tesla 0.62% down, Nvidia 0.25% down, Microsoft 0.18% down, Meta 0.5% up, Google 0.2% up, Amazon 1% up, Apple 1.78% up. Even the broader names like AMD up, Netflix up 1.23%, approaching that 100. Never got a reload on that. Hood up today, and then you've got like AVGO down. Let me have a look at the broader market for a second. Just in a rotation at the moment. Remember, we're right at previous week. Yeah, tech down, healthcare down a bit, basics are down a bit, industrials are down a bit, consumers are up a bit, communications are up a bit, financials are up today, and defense is up, obviously. Just a bit of a mixed bag. Stuck up here, and how they act up here is going to become key. We can just look, we're right in the middle now. There's just no, we lack edge, and they've stacked. It looks so ugly because they've stacked everything in so tight now. And VIX again finding a little bit of a bid in front of 24s. I don't have edge here because everything's stacked. Like, the question is, do they hold this to complete this move, or do they lose this to complete this move? I don't know. We're right in the midpoint. It's not very pretty out there. The main move was the first move we got up to the 420s. That was the main move. Main move done. Q does have relative strength today, though. I'll tell you that much. Definitely has relative strength. I'm going to try and get back to the fours. And it's buying excess at 400 and above. Right, back into the top side here. Just don't think there's any targets for it to go for, unless it's going to go for those stops at 550. But it's hard to see that do it in one move today, right now, I would say. Very hard to see that happening right now. That's a poking towards fours. 85 is failing. Bids are showing up here. Do we test VPOC again? Do we fail now? Do they start to roll over? Or do they hold these bids at value and 50s again? I have no idea, folks. I really don't know what they want to do with this right now. Just going to be honest. It just feels like they don't really want to do much with it. Just pinning it. Wait until Trump speaks. Yeah, did you guys said Trump speaking at 1 o'clock. I mean, I'll be long gone by then, so we'll be gone on stream as well. So back towards VPOC, which is at these 50s. So value area high 55, VPOC 50, somewhere around here. Do they hold the bid there, or do they lose this whole thing? There is no CPI print from this morning. We didn't have CPI this morning, mate. Also, can I just say something? Why, if you don't know that we don't have CPI today, all right, PMI, if you don't know what the prints are, why are you coming here and asking? Do you not have a computer in front of you? Do you not have the ability to check Financial Juice, or the ability to use Google, or the ability to look at like FinViz, or I don't know, Market Watch, or like all these things? You know, come on. You're going to take this seriously or not? It's crazy. You guys might think it's funny. I think it's ridiculous that people come in here asking questions like that. You might be insulted by what I'm saying, but I think it's utterly ridiculous. You're the guy that goes to the test when you're a kid, like goes and does your exam, and you go to the guy next to you. What's the answer to this one? Seriously, like, learn to have some level of independence. I'll happily try and teach you to trade and what I'm seeing, but I'm not going to do the most basic things for you. You guys learn to do the most basic things, please. First thing you should do each day is check what news is coming. There's lots of ways of doing that. Easiest way is just to go onto marketwatch.com and check out the economic calendar, right? I give everything to you as well in the newsletter for free. Everything's there for you guys who can't be bothered to do stuff yourself. I do it for you each week. Okay, just still dancing around this midpoint like I talked about. We're starting to stack here. So you've got previous week value area high. Oh, God. Can we draw it? You're going to let me draw it? Previous week value area high, point of control on the day, VWAP, flow zones, and then just above us, Globex high, value area high for current week since Sunday open, and gamma and naked POC. All right, we are trapped in here right now with nowhere to go and nothing to do. We had one nice trade, which is basically this. I only got it to there. That's all I got. So holding on this opening range high right now, right here. Your orb from this morning. Again, I wouldn't, personally, I'm not going to be a buyer up here. I think it's a psychopath move after we've already tagged that fresh level. Doesn't mean it can't go higher. It's just not a buying opportunity for me. I'd need to see us break above all that liquidity and hold, and I don't think we're doing that yet. The hourly does look pretty good, but yeah, it's just not somewhere I want to be bidding. I would much rather look for a rotation play today at this point. Buys are strong. I mean, you understand where we are though, right? Right? You're trying to buy, if you're buying up here, you are trying to buy not a fresh test of this. That's not a great area to buy. We tried to buy that this morning. The great area was from here in this imbalance for this move up. This is not a great area to buy. The only buy up here really would need to be this now and a build out. Otherwise, you're not looking at higher time frame. You're just going, oh, it's moving higher on a 30-second chart or on this chart or that chart. Well, I don't really care about that. I actually care about who's stuck and where they're stuck. And this is where they're stuck. It's also where they got stuck this morning. All right. The same buyers, right, got stuck here this morning. This is all buy side. Look at this from 84s and above. It's basically all buy side. All right. Which means there's passive selling up here. Who are those passive sellers? Probably the buyers that are stuck in that supply zone getting out. Okay, so back down to previous week value area high, VWAP and VPOC right now, as we just start to compact in here a little bit. If we lose the bid here, we can rotate right back down, probably towards, I'd say, well, the first thing that got shelved at 50s, then at 34s, then at 17s. And it really depends what they want to do with it. Do they want to hold the bid here and just get tighter and tighter? Are we going to do one of these? Or are we actually going to see this clean all of this out? Do I watch Keeping Up Appearances? That's a very old show, isn't it? Seem to remember that from my childhood. Trying to remember who was in that. What was the Keeping Up Appearances show? Faulty Tales for sure, yeah. Don't, the Germans are here. Thank you. She all right? Luna? Yeah. Jeez. Hyacinth Bouquet. Yeah, that was it. Hyacinth Bouquet. And they lived in that council house, that slob. I remember it. All right, we're just compacting here again. Nothing's happening. Nothing to do here, folks. That's why we're talking. Let's see if we can get these likes up for some giveaways today. 1,200 likes is the first target, guys. You're just under halfway there. Just smash the like button. We do some giveaways. Very, very easy. Very easy to do. All right, drifting back to these 84s again. If they break out of here, they're going to try and test higher. They're still holding, but it's just not an area I want to be a buyer in up here. Just not going to do it. It can go all the way to 550 without me. If it's going to hold up here, I don't care. There's no way I'm doing it. What's my average position size? Well, that depends on the size of the account I'm trading, my friend. Can we see my pit bull? She's eating at the moment. I'll bring her in here in a bit when she's done. What do I think about the looted crates? All I saw is one crate open when I logged into the screen. And I'm not. Is it different every day? You guys probably know more than I do about that stuff. Yeah, opening range is holding. That's this white line here. That's what we talked about. But, you know, like I said, this is higher time frame supply up here. There is a chance for them to run stops up here today if they want. But as you can see, Gamma keeps rejecting. These are cool walls up here. All right, we're pinned. Remember, we're waiting on news. I'll remind you, overnight, we've done a pretty big move. This might not look like much, but this is a pretty big move overnight from 975 all the way up into here. It's 500 points you've done overnight. All right, if you're trying to be bullish up here, you're really asking for it in my mind. It's not a good location to be a bull from right now as a day trader. It's really not. But that's just me. You guys manage your own positions. If you want to keep trying to buy in this to get up to 550, by all means, you play what you want to do. I'm not going to be doing that. I don't pay any monthly fee for my setup. One-time fee. The only thing I pay monthly for is data. CME data here. so that I don't have it linked, so I can just see it nice and clean, and data on Bookmap above me. It's the only thing I pay monthly for. I don't pay monthly for anything else. VIX failing under the 24s now, washing out previous week lows. Market's still holding up, still really, for me, just in this condensed area of no man's land. Buyers got stuck this morning above 400s. I know that much. Buyers got stuck above 400s. There was no acceptance up there. It was one candle and a failure. Depends what they want to do here. No idea. Into a very ugly zone. I'll remind you as well, we stayed in this zone for quite a long time. When we were here in March, we were here March 19th, March 20th, March 23rd, March 24th, March 25th, March 26th. We stayed in this zone a very long time before. Do I trade a personal account? I do, but for swing trades. Swing positions. Okay, stuck up that top side again. Back into the range again. Sellers coming in very aggressive here at the lows. They're trying to force us under previous week value area low. Buyers now trying to absorb the takedown here. And the chop continues, folks. Choppy, choppy, choppy. They're trying to resell this. They're not doing a very good job. So I'm just checking the news here. Nothing really. All right, back to previous week value area high again. You can see nothing changing here, just in this node like we talked about. No acceptance above it. Not seeing this trade under it. I'm not going to trade this trade over it, but not seeing either. We have buyers stuck over it, so I won't be looking for that. It's ugly. Yeah, it's a little bit ugly out here in the moment. It is. Market's looking for some direction here. Should say funded next. I don't know if you guys saw it. They added like a add-on to Bolt this morning. If you're interested, those of you who trade with funded next, so that you can have no consistency rule. I think it was like an extra $35 or something. If you want that. Still just dancing around. Game of trap again, yeah, probably. Alex, I've just seen your message. Let me get into Discord now, and I can sort you out your certificate later once we get off stream. Let me get you in. I've just seen that come through. There you go. Do I think we'll chop until Trump speech? Yeah, I think we'll probably chop in Trump speech as well, just more violently. I can't imagine any decisions been made. You know, look, just look at what's been said the last few weeks. We've won the war. We don't need the Strait of Hormuz. Other people need the Strait of Hormuz. If they don't give me the Strait of Hormuz, we're going to blow them up. Then you had his profanities at the weekend of open the King Strait of Hormuz, or we're going to, what did he say? Like, call them bastards, and we're going to, you stupid bastards, or something like that. And that was followed by other talks saying we're close to getting a deal done. We think a deal done could be. Look, I don't see what edge you're going to get until they come out and say a deal has categorically been done, or we're not doing a deal. That's it. Until you get it, all the time you're getting one thing followed by something else said 5 seconds later. How can you price that into the market? You can't price it in. All right, let's see if they're going to lose these bids here. Remember, we're forward looking in the market. So if you're forward looking and you don't know which direction, it's very hard for them to price anything in. We're not talking about different things being said days or weeks apart. We're talking about different things being said seconds apart here. All right, if they lose this, they're going to rotate to 17. So here's VWAP, New York VWAP here. If they lose this, they rotate down to here again. No trade for me in here. Yeah, I one of the things I do wonder with the social media situation is, do you think it's actually him? I'm not convinced. I can't see Donald on his phone sending a tweet. I just can't see it. Like, I think it's someone else just getting things fundamentally wrong, getting carried away with themselves. So, you know, I wonder if they're fire whoever said that over the weekend. Maybe he's letting his kids do it. Oh, look at this rotation back and forth. Look at this chop. What the bloody hell is going on here? This is insane. What the bloody hell is this? Do we have some news? We've got to have something. Something's probably come out. Look at this dump. So there's the rotation back towards the 20s we just talked about, back into this node, absorbing down here. Iran replied to US proposal to end the war in Pakistan, a 10-point clause. That's all we see right now. And there's the downside, so right into this value again. Again, we've got stuff to clean up down here if they come down for it. I don't know if they're going to come down for it. We're still in the range. That's just breaking now. Very, very thin on that move down, remember? So I don't know if you guys want to trade this to downside. For me, we're still very, very risky coming to this block here now. So you'd need a rejection either at 17s that we had earlier or all the way back at 50s. And if you reclaim 50s, obviously it'd be pretty bullish. So who knows? Iran rejects the ceasefire. So that's what we're seeing at the moment. Reject ceasefire. But they did say they were going to reject a ceasefire. They're not interested in the ceasefire. They're only interested in a deal. So downside pressure here coming in the market, probably back down towards VWAP and that New York Open at the moment. That's why I said I would not be a buyer up here. Look, as soon as we tap supply, no acceptance, none. And in a rotation, you can see in a rotation now. Just no way I was going to be a buyer up there. For me, it's a psychopath move. Like I said, you got many, many weeks of trap buyers up here. The last thing I want to do is buy at their level, at their pain point. Here's the lift straight back up to fill some of these imbalances. And I would say 50s become key. All right, 50s become key. That's where you've just broken down from. It's some kind of 50 level. So if they resell 50, they'll look to complete the move lower. If they can't resell 50, it'll be a reclaim, and we're right back into this box. This box here. So sellers will look to sell that. If they can't sell that, we go right back in here into the chop. I'd say the longer in that chop up there, actually, the more bullish it is, but we'll see. Like I said, we'll just have to see how this sort of pans out It's all just hitting the wire right now. Right back to these 50s. If they reclaim this, who knows? But this is the retest of that 50s. And we're right back inside value. So no acceptance outside of value today. If you look at value area low and value area high. Oh, come on, TradingView, please. No acceptance outside of this. This is your rotation right now. Right, that's your rotation. And 50s is the key level because it's where we just broke down from. This is where their stops were. We're testing it. So if they stop back out again, you see downside pressure. If we reclaim it, we go in here, and I'd say that's almost more bullish if we go back inside that. But no edge, I would say, best way of talking about it. So the market doesn't know how to take it because they've said no to a ceasefire, but have put a plan in place that they want fulfilled. All right, so there's a rejection of 50, but again, we just held value area low on that dip. I mean, your guess is as good as mine at this point, folks. Like, honestly. Back to value. So 50 to value rotation, value to 50 rotation. That's what you're in right now. If you find acceptance under value, then we can think about, you know, new lows of day. But at the moment, you can't. You're just inside of value. There's just no edge right now. News algorithms probably don't know what to do with this. Okay, value test here again. Here's the value area low. Now, can you find acceptance under this at this point or not? It's the only thing to decide, basically. Again, no position for me. This is very news driven right now. Still waiting to see what more said here. Yeah, so look, there's two ways to read this, right? Yeah, rejected a ceasefire, but they've emphasized the necessity of a permanent end to war. They don't want a ceasefire. They want the war finished. Again, just no edge for me here. No edge for me here at the moment. I'm a newer trader. Would you recommend TPO or Footprint to help provide a little edge? I'm doing an Apex eval. I mean, they're very different order flow tools, buddy. They're very, very different. I would say for intraday trading, Footprint's going to be way more useful than TPO. Okay, you're getting banned, mate, because you just keep printing the same thing, spamming. This guy's got to go. Sorry. Where are you, Mr. Spammer? All right, you gone. Okay, back into current. No, we're not into current week. What are we into here? What is this? Oh yeah, it is current week. That looks weird. It looks so different on my hourly. Current week point of control. Okay, so they're trying to force sell pressure to come and clean out all these stops down here now. This is what's key down here. This is the edge of the range. This is where we've been absorbing all day. You're really in no man's land a little bit here. But if they do start to crack here, there are lots of stops below. All right, so the 50s rejected. Anyone that took that, you should be TP1 into here. All right, TP1 into here. It's a 50-point trade. 50s rejected. Remember, we said this is the edge. That's your TP1. If you find acceptance lower, you're going to come and clean out these guys here into this. But, you know, they can just as easily hold this and come back up. So if you did take that, again, I'm not in it, you should be TP1 here. This looks absolutely awful right now. Can we get rid of that? There we go. All right, so you're in lower highs and higher lows right now in the New York session. This is where you're at. You are compact in here. It is dreadful. There's a good chance we come and clean all this out at some point, whether it's today or not. It's in a whole nother ball game. There are lots of stops down there. Remember, main trade was up to the 420s. That's what we wanted to see. I'm willing to look for downside. All right, I will show you. We had downside planned if, all right, if we see this trade here, which is what we're starting to see. We saw the lift up into 420s. We're seeing the rejection. If we start to stay heavy, all right, we can think about that downside move back into the previous day, previous week point of controls down here. So we're starting to see that develop. I just don't want to be early, especially with news headlines flashing around. Here we go. So let's see if we find acceptance under these 300s and start to really drift lower now. Starting to lose value, starting to see these stops being attacked. Here we go. So we want to stay heavy really versus 300 here because it's an internal sweep. We want to stay heavy versus 300. We want ES to start playing bull here as well if we're going to look for this trade. So into the 24-hour VWAP here. VIX still just did the dunk under 24, reclaim 24, might go back up to 25, which would help sell pressure if we do, but we're just in a range still on VIX, no like really big drive out. 270 must break, yeah. Well, I'd say the key levels are even down to the low of day, 45. So New York Open is key. We had sellers caught this morning at 55, so you'd need them back in the money, really. We'll see. We'll see if they start rejecting 300s for this move or not. Value area low. If we reclaim value area low, sort of 305s, we can go straight back to those 350s again. Here we go. Good rejection so far. Can we see continuation now? 24-hour VWAP here. This is key. We get under this, we get under New York, we're going to start really going for it. Going for those stops. So you just want 300 to stay heavy here, or value area low to stay heavy here. You do not want to reclaim if you're playing the short, because you're trying to play a continuation breakdown. Be very careful here. So you're hitting TPs here into the New York Open now as well. Ideally, they pop into 90 and reject. Can you come into 90 and reject? You're just going to keep washing. Yeah. New York Open now gone. And they're staying heavy. Previous day high here, 55, absolutely key. That's where the seller got stuck this morning, was into 55. That's previous day high. So you're going to check him at the moment. If you get under that, then all these moves down here become viable. ES getting a little bit off 24-hour view up. Again, I think if we can let go and come lower. It's got a long way to go, ES, to play catch up. So I want 90s to 300s to stay heavy. Is the move back to towards 90s and 300s. This needs to stay heavy to hold on to this. Any reclaim of value, I'm not interested in the trade at all. We have to stay heavy versus these nodes here. Any reclaim of value will be a problem. Good buying up here, which is what you want to see get absorbed. Good aggressive buying. Want to see this absorbed here, which is what we're starting to see. Great. That's perfect. Right, can we see follow through now? Because that's really good what we just saw on the tape there. Don't want it to come back and revisit that level again. Really good absorption. I want to see a breakdown now under 40s. We've got lots of buyers down there. Can we just flush them out? Come on. don't come back up. You just absorbed once. ES looks terrible. 90s to 300s is the level. Break of 3 or 303s, 304s, I'm out. All right, break of 303, 304s, I'm out because it would be a return back into range. So I'm trying to play the expansion back down now, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. ES stuck between 24-hour and New York. It looks good so far. There's another great reaction there. Really good. So there's definitely absorption on the tape up there. It just depends, can they get a heavy rotation under the New York Open? We need all the bulls from today crushed for this to really start playing, because then we can use all the liquidity from today to move lower. We are currently holding that New York Open. We have to be aware of this blue line. We're currently holding it, but this is the sell point, right? They have to sell versus these for that expansion. If they can't and they come back in here, I'm done with it. Where was that last buyer? 94, 306. I'm going to come and test it. If they squeeze through this, I'm done with it. I'm playing with house money here, but I'm not going to sit in this. ES just pivoting between 24-hour and New York VWAP is going to make life very, very hard, that ES right now. And we do have unfinished business if they do reclaim 300 here. But at the moment, I'm going to stay sell side all the time. We're rejecting value. All the time we're rejecting this, I'm happy to stay sell side. We reclaim this, I'm done, because we can then drift right back up. Adding liquidity higher. About to stop out here if they hold this pullback. This is right on my level. Need to see a flush here, otherwise I'm done, because they can squeeze right back up to 40 and 50s. Oh, yes. What are you doing, mate? You need to reject 640 here. Right, now or never. They sell this or I'm done with it. This was the poke in. They keep adding liquidity higher, which I do not like to see, all the way up to 320 now. They've got to sell this and they've got to break 85s, and they've got to do it convincingly for me to hold on to this. We are in a battle zone here, no doubt about it. Right at value area low, right into that key level. Now or never, market. Now or never. Come on, follow through. You got to break these 80s. Let's go. You got to get down and under this. Do not hold this little imbalance, mate. Sellers coming in 90s. We need to break 85s and 80s here. Here we go. Right, we got to get back under the VWAP now for me to be very comfortable. Come on. This is what we wanted. You've got to follow through here. Bunch of pansies. Come on. Here comes the 80s. Get back under this VWAP, please. Come on. Mate, what a battle. These sellers are at 310s. I need them to walk down, not just hang out here like they did all last week and the week before. I need them to walk down, otherwise we're going to get stopped out on this. Mate, these sellers are a pain up here. Taking my hands off. If it stops me out, it stops me out. They will not walk down, these guys, at 310s. Oh, you're going to do me to the tick. I'm almost gone. I'm right on their pain point. Way! He left me in. Thank God for that. These guys at 10s are a pain. Oh, they've just reloaded at 10s again. Please come down, guys. Why are you reloading up there? You got to come lower. Fucking hell, mate. They're just sat up at 10s right now. I need them to come down. I really need them to come down. And they've added it 25s as well. Oh, I don't like that. This is the level. You can see it. It was marked out beforehand for you. This is the level. What I don't like is on the book. I'm taking this off. I'm out. I don't like what they're doing on the book now. They're lifting and adding higher and higher and higher. They're trying to tempt price to come up. I'm not going to sit in that to come up to 40s. These sellers on the book are being dirty. So I'm done with it, guys. Sorry, had a good go at it, done with it. I'm not going to hold on and get absolutely washed out to 40 if they want to play games here, which is exactly what they're doing on the book. Don't like that at all. So I can show you what I'm seeing on Bookmap. These guys, all right, these guys at 10s were stacked. I would have liked to have seen these guys at 10s walk down and hammer price. They didn't. They stayed there. They got filled. This was really good. But then they didn't chase price. They didn't hold price lower. We came back to them again, and then they've started adding liquidity higher, which is drawing this market to lift up and fill this liquidity. That is not what I want to see when I want to see a follow through. I wanted these sellers to then move lower and force price lower, not lift and add higher, which is what we're seeing. That's literally the opposite of what I would want to see on the book for a continuation trade, which is why I cut it. There we go. So they're going to lift up to their levels. This is what I'm saying. Don't like what I'm seeing on the book there. Really don't like what I'm seeing on the book there. And we're back inside value, and we can go back inside of chopped. So 24-hour view up right now to New York view up. That's your rotation. And there's POC from current open. And this is POC from New York open. And we are condensed now. We are, what, 100 points? Just under 100 points. Price action's pissing you off. If you're getting frustrated with it, just back off it. Just back off it if you're getting frustrated with it. We did do a little internal sweep here. What are you going to do? You can only play with what it gives us. We will get nice moves here, guys. I promise you. Like a few weeks ago, we were having 200-300 point bangers consistently. When we move, all right, the market is going to give us a nice move soon. All right, once it makes a decision, right, if we get an hourly pivot up and above this in the next few days, we're going to get a pro trend day up here, right? And this will give us the big move, the big Lebowski move, okay? If we do this and we start getting heavy news, we will break down and look for new lows. This, again, will give us a really nice clean move. Why we're chopping, just zoom out. Where have we chopped in before? All right, this is what our expectation is here. We know this is a tough zone. Okay, this is a tough zone for over a month, right? From the beginning of March, you know, we're at the 6th of April. We started coming into this zone and chopping from the 18th of March. Last time we were down here before was the beginning of March, all right? We know we chop in this zone, okay? We know it. So you just need a bit of patience, like reduce your, what should we say, your ambition for what we're going to get right now. And just make sure you're present the best you can be for when the market might offer that trade. We don't know when it's going to offer its trade. SPY 5 minutes so much cleaner? I don't think so. You think this is cleaner? I think this is arguably even worse from what I'm looking at. You think that's cleaner? Don't know what's clean about that. Can't print above the highs, can't break down in the lows. That's all you've got. I mean, maybe if you're a range trader, if you're selling that and buying that and selling that and you haven't come down to the extreme to rebuy it. For me, I don't think so. In a range till Trump speaks it. And I think you have to be aware that we might be in a range after. Don't hang your hat, okay? Don't hang your hat on his speech because there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee he gives you definitive answers. We don't have an exact date. We don't know if it's boots on the ground. We don't know if it's the end of the war. There's no certainty. There's no certainty. So don't expect us to develop a trend after he talks. Right, don't expect it. Well, once we get certainty in the market, or once we get used to the uncertainty and we just price in, okay, maybe this goes on longer than anticipated, then we'll get some really clean moves, right? We will get clean moves. Right, how are we doing for likes? Because we're going sideways here. 300 more likes, folks. I'm going to let you lot get the likes up, and when we come back, we'll do a giveaway. If you get me to 1,200 likes, we'll get a giveaway. And I'm going to get a refill on my coffee, and I'll be right back. All right, team? Why have we lost? Sorry, I've left you on the spy. Let's make sure this is at least on the right chart for you while I go. There we go. All right, be right back. All right. How are we doing? Tyson complete? I mean, I guess you could say that was an IB failure. I don't know. I don't think I'd be trading that to there, but each to their own. I don't think there's much going on right now. I just think we're building liquidity. Higher time frame at the moment. There's a heavy print on that. That shoved down. That's heavy. Right, how are we doing for the likes? Are we there yet? All I want is to give you guys some free stuff. I'll tell you how to enter the giveaway when you guys get us to 1,200 likes. There's at least 1,000 of you haven't hit the like button. All you got to do is smash the like button, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do for the giveaway. PA and market structure. Oh, nice, dude. I just see your tweet to me. Yeah, that was the level we talked about last week, wasn't it? I remember talking to you on Twitter, and I was saying 420, and you said 450, and there you go. Bang. Banger, mate. You got it. Nice work. Nice work. Yeah, this is becoming less and less and less interesting. Barbecues and tacos when I come to Austin. I almost came this weekend coming. A friend of mine's filming a pilot series over there. But I just can't make it. But I will be there soon. I've got to take my wife. She's still yet to go. So if I'm going to buy a place there, I've got to take her there and make sure she agrees to it. Otherwise, it won't go down too well. What platform do I swing trade on? I have a few different ones, man. But the main one I trade on is 212. But I also have... why can I never remember what it's called? I have to always log in to find it. TradeStation. There we go. My brain is mush this year, honestly. Mush. Definitely AB prop firm trading. Definitely. All of those. All of those. Coffees in the morning and booze in the afternoon. All of those. I've been following on Instagram some of the like sort of channels showing all the new developments, as in like the new bars and stuff opening. So much stuff going on there. It's great. Do I dabble in small caps? Not really anymore. Not really anymore, if I'm honest. Like very occasionally, if I think there's like a really good T+2 for the long side, I'll do it in my swing accounts, but I don't swing short on anything. But I did follow. There was one the other week which really hurt people. What was that ticker called? Let me find it. There was a lot of butt hurt people on it. UGRO. No. UGRO. And I was wishing I was long in this. It's come right back in. But where was the move? This move here. No. So that move there? This move here. Here we go. That move there, I was kind of jealous of. That is short trap heaven. End of day squeeze because they don't want to hold overnight. Look at that. What a move. 7s to 55s. I'm not sure what the pivots were on that for the 55s. Look at that. Right. I mean, that's so good. I mean, it's so funny that shorts are still like trying to hammer this down here. It's just ridiculous. But here's your pivot. All right, back into that block. All right, and that will fade right back in now. That will fade right back in now. But yeah, what a move that would have been. Those are the ones where you build really big bank accounts very, very quickly. I mean, yeah, I mean, they've been doing it for years, right? The Chinese names. And even the names which aren't Chinese, when you start looking at the board members or stuff like that, you start seeing it. And if any of you think that I'm being racist here, I'm not. It's a genuine thing. It's to do with Chinese tickers, and it's to do with what happened post-2008. All right, so post-2008, the stock market, we had a really, really bad crash. So what did we do? How did we try and offset that so that clients could make money? Well, what we did is we said, hey, let's go to the emerging markets and we'll float some of these companies from China and the emerging markets on the New York Stock Exchange, on the Nasdaq, etc., etc. And we did great due diligence on these markets, except no one can speak Chinese. So we sent like all these firms over to China to go and have a look and make sure the books were correct, but they weren't. They were cooked, all right? The books were cooked. So we've got a lot of shoddy companies on these exchanges, and then they manipulate everything, and you know, they set these giant traps and squeezes. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go and watch a film called The Chinese Hustle, and it will tell you all about it. Very interesting film about what happened post 2008 and why we have these scammy companies on the market. And I'll tell you, I infamously gave up $25,000 on a trade on, I think it was called MOXC back in the day. It won't be on the exchange anymore. But they claimed to be like the new Facebook coming out of China, and we did lots of research on them. That it was literally, their address was literally a hut in a fisherman's village in the middle of fucking nowhere. There were 2 brothers on the board, from what I remember, and yeah, I got my butt squeezed on that trying to play the short. Well, there were lots of stuff like that back in the day. What's the name of the doc? It's called The Chinese Hustle. You can probably get it on Netflix or on Prime. It's a great doc. Yeah, really good doc if you want to learn about that kind of stuff, why it happened. And it's actually, I forget what bank he is, the guy who first started bringing these Chinese companies over to America. He's part of the sort of, let's call it the crack team, trying to stop it now. He's realized like what an error he made, in fairness to him, and is trying to stop it all. Oh, the China Hustle. Sorry, not Chinese Hustle. China Hustle. Okay, my bad. All right, we're literally going nowhere, folks. We're literally going nowhere, which is why we're talking about other stuff. So, You don't need to trade like every minute of every day. If the market's not doing what we want to see, it's okay to just stay flat. Are we there yet? How are we not at 1,200 likes? I don't understand why it's so hard. Come on, guys. 200 more likes on stream. Just smash that like button and we can just do some giveaways. That's all I want to do. We've got 50 minutes left. It's been a distinctively average day, but again, made money in my TPT account, made some extra money in a couple of my PA's account. I'm going to take some payouts today in Apex. Due another payout, which is great. And I'll probably take some TPT money out as well. So I'll probably pay myself, I don't know, 10 grand today, which would be good. Would I recommend Delta footprint or bid ask footprint for intraday? That's a very good question, and it's up to you. For me, I only care about Delta. All right, I only care about Delta. It's the only thing I'm looking at. If I'm scalping, most of my strategy is based on trapped traders. Yeah, that's how I trade. Higher time frame trap traders, lower time frame trap traders. So let's give you an example of that. If we know higher time frame traders, we need to get you on an hourly, right? If we know higher time frame traders, buyers, all right, are trapped here and above, right? This is their level. Remember, they've been trying to bid. Oh, come on, TradingView. They've been trying to bid and trying to bid and trying to bid and trying to bid. We came under and they reclaimed. They tried to bid and bid and bid and bid and bid, and we lost the bid. All right. So guess who's trapped in there? Every buyer this year and down to November last year. Now it looks shoddy because it's the new contract, but if you went to NQ1, you'd see it. Every buyer from November onwards is trapped above this level that we traded into this morning. Okay, every buyer is trapped above that. So I want to be a buyer into that, but I don't want to be a buyer there. We want to trade the other way, away from that. So your bias can be buy into it and sell away from it. So what do we look for in here? Well, we want to see more buyers trapped in there. So what did we get this morning where I exited the position? All right, we got this move here. And in this move here, all right, from 20 to 50, this is very good excess. And in here, you have a ton of trap buyers. Let me see if I can find it, a footprint for you here. And you will see all buying in this candle. There you go. All right. All these buyers now caught, and I used Delta to see that. So my exit was actually before that. I'm lying. My exit was here, wasn't it? Because I saw buyers get caught there. All right, my exit was there. I think it was there. It was either one of these. My exit was there. But if you held on, your exit was there. Or you could be like, I forget his name in chat, who we're just talking to, messaged me on Twitter. You can take, he looks for the reversal trades. You can take the short position there for the move away from that. All right, so Delta becomes very useful to understand who's trapped and where they're trapped. And right now, we're doing nothing. We ain't doing a thing. Not a thing. I should check out the Age of Disclosure documentary. I've already watched it, mate. I've watched that. I watched S4 at the weekend. Don't you worry. I've watched all of them. I thought S4 was fantastic. Bought that at the weekend on Prime. Can talk about that stuff all day long. Yeah, if you didn't know, the S4 doc just came out on Friday, I think. Oh, did you watch it, Adam? Yeah, it's great. I thought it was really good. I don't know what gave more detail. Like maybe the interview with Rogan was a little bit more detailed, but it was nice to see visual representation of like what Bob Lazar actually saw. It was really good to see that. First time tuning in, very impressed with you so far. Seems you have a good head on your shoulders. I just wanted to ask your thoughts on options. Have you traded them before? If so, why not anymore? I'm not an options trader. I'm not an options trader. I don't understand them to the best of the ability out there. Okay, so have I traded them? Yes, I've taken leaps. I don't trade 0DTEs. They're just not for me. Trying to understand all the Greeks, I don't understand all the iron condors and the butterflies, and I'm not going to pretend that's my wheelhouse. It doesn't mean they're not good. They're great. It's probably a part of my game I'd like to get stronger at, especially for leaps. I think leaps can be so useful because you can position yourself really well into some great companies, and if you're willing to take, if you've got enough money and willing to take on that asset, if it doesn't go your way, you get cheaper prices at great companies. I think it's a good way to trade, but it's not my wheelhouse. I would say if you want to learn options, probably go and look at someone like Sanlucci or someone like that who specifically trades that and 0DTEs. But that's not my vibe. But there's some great traders out there. Yeah, Sanlucci. Sanlucci. Here, let me find him. I think he has his own room now. He used to be over at RU back in the day. Trump currently posting here, guys. If Iran doesn't yield, we won't have bridges or power plants. We? Do you mean they won't, mate? He's going completely mental, isn't he? We? There's no we. If Iran doesn't yield, we won't have bridges. Are you going to bomb your own country now? Are you, Donald? Come on, mate. Come on, mate. Do the basics. So Sanlucci, you can follow him on Twitter. SANG and then LUCCI. Right, he's probably, out of the guys that I used to watch back in the day, he's the one that I know trades solely options and is very good at doing that. All right, how are we doing on the likes? Are we there yet? 1.1. We're almost there, folks. I don't know if you're rage baiting or not. What do I think about ICT? Keep it really clean. He has some good concepts, but he can't trade. That's what I think about him. I haven't tried Funded Seat. They have. I have been in discussions with them. My concern is, I'll be honest with you, SG Trades. My concern is that they don't have Tradeify. I know they have TradeC, but the fact they don't have Tradeify on Ninja, I have said it to them. We're in talks, but I only want to promote firms which I know pay out. They're obviously a newer firm. Got to be careful, you know. Don't want to get you guys involved in stuff which isn't paying out. So I'm always cautious on that. You know, some traders will jump on these quicker because you can get a lot of hype and they just want to promote it to you guys. I don't want to get you guys in shit firms. I've already done that once. I felt terrible, but I didn't know Khalid was going to be such a dick when it came to funding ticks. Just pulled the rug on everyone. You know, and that's a big firm that's been around a long time. So they can all do it. Well, the thing is, Tradeivate does a lot of due diligence on firms, right? So I know once they trade with Tradeivate, they've had a good hard look at them. NinjaTrader is so hard to partner with NinjaTrader, and both as a firm and as an individual. When I release new scripts and codes on NinjaTrader, I have to go through a lot of process with them, which is good. I'm not complaining about it. It's good. It's protecting you lot. Funding Ticks and Funding Pips was the same firm, yeah. And then Khalid pulled Funding Ticks. He did a rug pull, and I'm telling you that because I used to trade with them, and they did a rug pull. So I'm always conscious about working with a new firm. You can see the firms that I work with; they're all underneath. They will all pay you out regularly, no problems. ICT plus order flow. Well, why would you? Here's my question to that. You explain to me, why would you need ICT if you're trading order flow? What value does it bring to you? What prop firms do I suggest? All the ones listed underneath me now. Apex, Funded Next, Lucid, Tradeify, Take Profit Trader, My Funded Futures, and Trade Day. And there's a video on my YouTube of like my top 5 firms for the year. Been in a short since the New York VWAP tap. Up here, I hope it works for you, man. I hope they let go of this. I hope they give you this rotation down. I really do. They've built out a lot of liquidity here. It'd be nice if they let this go, but you know they might keep it pinned until Donald talks. But this would be really nice for you, right? New York Open, IB low, previous day value area high, previous week point of control, previous day point of control, close the gap, 0 DTE line. I mean, this would be a magnificent trade. If that's what we were trying to get, I think it was here. I was trying to position for this. And they just didn't want to let it go. They did not want to let it go, but it might come for you. I would not be surprised, though, on a daily if we just need to sort of go sideways for a day or two. Besides, ICT himself has said that algos have been adjusted to take IC traders' money. He's doing formats primarily. You've got to be kidding me, Ryan. If you believe that, I don't know what to tell you, Ryan. If you think that algorithms run by big hedge funds, all right, are detecting retail traders who 99.9% of them are not trading in the real market, they're paper trading, all right, you're fucking mental. I'm sorry to say it. No. It's not fucking happened. It's made up. Just like the made up story of him going in a white van and speaking to God is made up, mate. All right, please. Please. Maybe one day I'll do an interview with like some of my friends who trade at the big banks. All right, and they will absolutely clean slate and laugh about everything else. Is Apex good? Yes, it is. How do I deal with overtrading when I first started? Well, one of the key things, I think I talked about it in a short recently, is just limiting yourself for a game plan. All right. So if the game plan today, you can see my game plan is this first drive up into this red box. All right, that's the game plan today. So I'm looking for a longs up into this red box. I'm expecting this red box to probably fail and come back down into previous day value area high, previous day point of control, previous week point of control. All right, if we go sideways at this red box, I kind of need to lift over it and a hold, and then I can think about this trade up here. Right, which I think probably happens later in the week if we do it. So I don't overtrade because I know I'm either looking for this leg, or I'm looking for this trade back down, or I'm going to wait for a base up here for the expansion model. Or if we'd flushed first this morning, I'd be willing to buy this leg back up. So by limiting myself, by having a plan, I don't look for too much, right? You can see at the moment, I haven't traded for ages right now because now I'm becoming uninterested. I would have liked this to have worked for us to come down into here, but it hasn't. We're building out lots more liquidity. Maybe they still come for it. It's very viable that they might still do that. But as we get closer and closer to lunch and the divergence seems to like increase when I'm looking at ES and SPY, I become less and less interested. SPY is just sat right in the middle of its range. It's stuck between its lower time frame algo and its 20-day right now. So if you limit yourself to trading areas, if you limit yourself to saying, let's say at the beginning of the day, right, the best buy opportunity today would have been this little dunk, which caught everyone after we did this. Remember, always look for these. Grind, over expansion, wash them out, close the gap, interview upright. That's a buy opportunity. That's a buy opportunity. That's your sell into red. Buy opportunity, sell into red. So either you're long in these, right, or you're looking to fade this back down, TP1, TP2, TP3. If you limit yourself to trading these plays, you kind of start to ignore this, and that will stop you revenge trading and over trading. And revenge trading doesn't achieve anything other than have negative impact on your P&L. Has anyone noticed that TradingView and TopStep-X is dog shit? They have 0 indicators and it's actually dog shit. Yeah, that's why I tell you not to trade with TopStep. That's exactly why, because it's a joke. Do I have kids? I do not. Huge head and shoulders. What, on like an hourly? We're not there yet. It's building out a lot, but no, we're just still protecting. Like every drift down, like I said, these dips down here, still ES is still absorbing VWAP. All right, we're almost there, folks. A couple more likes and we're there, and we'll do the giveaway. Yeah, I don't advise trading with TopStep for that reason, but yeah, I've said it on stream many times. There's a reason. There is a reason. How does someone from the UK or Canada come to the US for a trading business? I think they're from the UK. Well, I have a green card. That's how and why. Okay, they're retesting 300s now. Again, ES absorbing off VWAP down here. You can just see the chop. New York VWAP, 24-hour VWAP, right? New York VWAP, 24-hour. New York VWAP, 24-hour. Point of control in the middle. No edge for me. What's my name? My name's Alex. Why is mate capital? That's so aggressive. Mate. What's your name, mate? That's very aggressive. What platforms do I suggest? Tradeify and Ninja, and if you don't like them, maybe you can try TradeC. I haven't tried it yet, but that's supposed to be a bit like TopStep-X, but better, with better integration. All right, well done. We finally got the likes up. We finally got the likes up. Let's get this set up for you guys. All right, FZT, best code for all your prop firms. Other than TPT, you can use code FlowZone, but FZT, best code for your prop firms. Type it once in chat, and we give away a free Apex account here for you guys. Just a rotation day, man. Man, I'm tired. Had a good weekend though. Found or my wife found a bistro pub here in Santa Monica, run by an Irishman. It felt like a proper, bistro English pub, to be honest. It was nice. I had a chicken pie and a pint of Guinness that was actually poured properly. What a rarity that is. A decent pint in Los Angeles is a rarity, I tell you. It's a rarity. It's nice to be served something else other than tacos. As nice as those are, it gets boring. No shamrock. No shamrock. It wasn't. It was a proper pint. A proper, cold, good pint with proper head, poured properly. And I tell you what, I sank it quick. It's been a long time. No, the US craft beer, I'm sorry to say, it's shit. It's shit. It's hoppy. It's not fresh. They never pour a fresh pint. There's never any head on it. Honestly, I'd say 99.9% of the pints I've been poured since I moved to America, if they poured you it in London, you'd send it back and tell them to F off. King's Head's good, yeah, but again, it's English run, isn't it? In Santa Monica. It's not where I went. I went to Cloverfield. Okay, give you guys 10 more seconds and we'll pull this winner. All right, let's pull it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Winner of the Apex account is Azza Muhammad. Azza Muhammad 7563. Let me know you're here. Azza Muhammad, you've won. I hope I've said that right. I think I've said it right. Yes. Okay, nice one. Just email me, please, my friend, info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube, and I will sort you out with a free Apex account. All right, info@flowzonetrader.com. Sellers getting very aggressive down here, and we're still being absorbed. I wonder if there's a break coming to liquidate everything first, but they're still getting absorbed down here for now. They're very, very aggressive at these lows, and they're stacked buyers down to 50s. You wonder if there's a clean out coming at some point. And we will do course giveaway in a little bit, in 10 minutes or so. Bacon, yeah, the bacon is not the same either. It's really not the same. Right, I think they're going to try and do this like liquidation break down to test these guys at 55s. It looks like what they're trying to do, where that seller got stuck this morning. If you break under that, then there's a chance of that drift right back down to previous day open, 220s and 185s, but they've got to get under these 55s. They've got to break this New York Open and get under the 55s, where that buyer got caught this morning. Here you go. Here's the New York Open. Now, can they break and liquidate? So the question here is there follow through. So you're right, that New York Open, you need to see follow through under this for those of you who are short. There you go. There's previous day high, and they're going to go for this liquidation. So that's a 55. So this is sort of TP1 now. And if you liquidate all of this, you've got to drift into previous day value and point of control. And this would be my final target today. If it's a big flipping if, folks. If you see continued sell side pressure, right, it would be a gap fill into this 0 DTE. But like I said, this is the liquidation here. Their 55s were important this morning. I can show you. All right, this is where sellers got caught this morning. All right here into 55. And they've just got caught again down there. So that's why I'm saying, like, you would need to cover some into 55s. You need to find acceptance underneath that. Otherwise, no follow through pressure. So you know that 55s was a big level this morning. And it's big level again. Ready for power plant day and bridge day. I mean, it's. I can't believe we're saying this, right? I can't believe we're saying this stuff. Not you. I just mean in general. Like, I'm laughing at it, but it's really not funny. It's really not funny. Really not funny. I notice any difference from the UK food to US food? Yeah, US food's terrible. It's terrible. It's full of additives and like thickeners and syrups, and my gut has not been the same since being here. People in America might get very upset with that, but 68% of food sold in America would not be allowed to be sold in the European Union. That's just a fact. So. Yeah, it's full of shite. They pump it full of shite. So that's nothing against America. It's just I wish they would clean up. There's so many things here I wish they would do differently. I mean, it's made me appreciate things I didn't appreciate. I'll be honest with you. As a high income earner back in the UK, I had zero respect for the NHS. I'm going to be very honest. I didn't. I thought it was an absolute joke. I paid all this money for tax to never be seen by the NHS and have all these people sitting in there wanting to get doctor's notes, etc., etc. But I have a newfound respect for the NHS since moving to America and having to pay for extortionate rates for private health insurance, which, you know, you can have the best insurance and you still have to top it up. You get in an ambulance here, it's $5,000, even with insurance, $5,000 gone. So I have a newfound respect for the system in the UK, and same with the food. Dung, you're like it. You might think it's funny what you're saying, but the thing is, like, you're comparing it to one thing. You're not comparing it to the state of what you eat. You guys eat shit. Your bread is full of sugar. Everything you eat is full of crap. Fact. This isn't me against America. It's just a fact, mate. I wish it wasn't a fact. It's just how it is. It's just, mate, I wish it wasn't true. You know, I live here. I wish it wasn't true. I wish you didn't have corn syrup in everything and thickeners in everything. But you do. Like, it's a fact, buddy. Don't get upset by it. Be like, oh, you eat beans? Yeah, I eat beans. Guess what? Heinz baked beans compared to your fucking beans that you sell full of sugar. There you go. There's another fact for you. Like, you heard that Ninja's Trader and Top Step can be connected? Nope, can't. Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, Heinz beans are full of sugar, but you can get the sugar-free ones. But you should see the ones that they sell here. You should see the ones that they sell here and compare it. You would be horrified. You would be absolutely horrified. And the other thing is here, everything goes off instantly. They sell you junk and it goes off instantly. You want to shop, you want to save some money and shop in Trader Joe's instead of shopping somewhere else, right? You better be prepared for that food you bought to go off the next day. Yeah, I agree. Like every time I go back to Europe, my digestive system instantly heals. Like I went to Spain last year for 2 weeks, filled my boots with bread and wine and beer, felt fine. The year before I went to Italy, I ate so much pasta and bread and pizza, felt fine. Very different here. Very, very different here. Sorry, guys, you might be like, why are we talking about this? Because nothing's really happening. Some of you might be enjoying this because you might be short from up here. All right, and maybe some of you are short from here or here. I'm not in anything. So, like I said, the 50s here needed to reject. It's what you saw here. We tried to play the continuation. I stopped out because this came more deeper than I would have liked for this move here. This is the move I want. All right, planned out pre-market. Was the long back up, like we talked about, this long up, and then the pullback after failing, this move here. All right, back down in. That's what I wanted to be in. I tried to be in it. I'm not going to enter at the break of this, especially towards lunch. So we're just in a rotation for me until it proves otherwise. Welcome, Grant. Welcome to the team. I should say, I don't know if it's ended already. There is a $100 discount on everything on my website right now. It might have ended. I'm not sure. Code Easter for that. I think it ends today. If it hasn't already ended, let me see if I can see for you. It's expired. Sorry, my bad. It's done. It ended this morning. My bad. It's gone. Right, let's do giveaway of the beginner course. All right, just type course once in chat and we'll give away an introduction to trading course. How do I like Tesla at these lows? Let me have a look. I think it's still got a gap fill to do. Still an open gap here. Same as Q's. It needs to be efficient down there, I think. That's the draw. Has it got any others? I think this gap's the first target for it. And you can see, look, the point of interest that they're trying to rotate to is 320s, that old pivot. Yeah, I don't like it. Not yet. Ones I'm more interested in are like Softy. Especially, you can see my price alerts. I'm long in it already, and I've got price alerts for these liquidation breaks at these. in case we get like nasty washes. Meta, I'm long in already. You can see I've got price alerts for this. Will be my TP for top side, and if we break bottom side, all right, and come and undercut this, I'll be looking to re-long if we fill this down here. We'll see. We're just it's so dependent on what we're going to do, risk on, risk off as a whole market. It's so dependent right now. I would, like I said, I'd like to see us sell off further. I'd like real panic and fear in the market. I don't think we've had real panic or fear or capitulation yet. I think it's been pretty much controlled. If we get real panic or fear, I'm very interested in this market. I don't think we're there yet. Guys, if you spam, all you guys that are spammed have just been pulled out. So shouldn't need to say it every day, but apparently I do. Right, let's pull this winner. Avery 99er. Avery 99er, are you here? Let me know you're here, Avery. Avery 99er. You got to let yourself know in chat, otherwise we will re-roll. My guess on Trump speaking, or you're saying no? I've got no guess. Like I said, I think you're going to get a whole lot of nothing. Would be my guess. You want my guess? It's going to be a whole lot of nothing. It's going to be we've destroyed them, decimated them. No navy left, no army left, nothing. Completely gone. Followed by, but if they don't sign it, we're going to bomb them some more. I've got troops ready to go on the ground. They've got nothing. They got nothing. They need to do a deal. That's all it's going to be said. Obliterated. That's it. Totally obliterated. They've been obliterated like never seen before. That's all. I don't know if that's what it's going to be. All right, Avery, congrats. Just email me, please, buddy. info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged in to your YouTube, and I'll sort you out. Thank you, bud. Sort you out the free course. Congratulations. Like nothing seen before. The market's gone down a little bit. I thought it was going to go a little bit more, but you know, we've got so much oil. I'm telling you, if you can't go and get, you should put your ships in there. If you can't do it, you can buy from us. That's what you're going to get. You're going to learn, I think you're going to learn absolutely fucking nothing. You're going to learn nothing. Nothing. We're going to learn nothing in the market until a deal is either done or it isn't done. Until that happens, it's very hard to price it in, right? It's so hard to price anything in right now. Do you ever use or know about Quant Tower? I don't use it. Drill, baby, drill. I am surprised we've not seen Shane Gillis like doing more Trump stuff recently, honestly. He must be having a field day writing content for it. Yeah, Shane is the goat. He does the best impression. Have I read your question? Where I don't know. How do I find your question, mate? I don't know. Where are you saying? Please answer my question. Where's your question? Here we go. With an 80k live account with NinjaTrader is 1k daily easy. How will you trade at NQ or ES? Do you recommend an indicator for your strategy for this daily target? Mate, what an odd way to phrase something. Can you make $1,000 out of 80K? Yes, of course you can. How would you trade it? I don't know what your strategy is. I would trade the same strategy I trade. Would I trade NQ or ES? Again, personal preference. I would day trade NQ. I would swing trade ES. Do I recommend any indicator for a strategy? Here's my recommendation to you. I'm going to say this really politely. Learn to trade. Learn to trade. Because I can tell by you asking those, you don't know how to trade. Because if you knew how to trade, you wouldn't be asking that. So the fact that you're even asking that, willing to put $80,000 at risk, I would say is a big, big red flag, bud. There's my answer to your question. All right, we're going absolutely nowhere. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Nothing's changed. Right back inside the range, failing to break out, and we go right to the midpoint. And if they lift this, we come and test 50s again. Just nothing there, man. No, this is the exact market I try and avoid, which is why we, for me, barely traded today. I am going to have to pick a winner. When does this run out? When did I say we were going to pick a winner on this? On the 9th. Okay, you've got 3 more days, guys, to enter the My Funded Futures giveaway on my X account. So let me pin that. I've pinned it to the top of my X account so you guys can see it. If you want to win a My Funded Futures giveaway, that's pinned. Once we pull that, we'll do some other winners as well over the next week. What am I going to give away this month? I'm going to give away at least another 5 My Funded Futures accounts. I'm going to give away at least 20 Apex accounts. I'm going to give away 2 Funded Next accounts as well over the next, I don't know, 3 weeks. We'll give tons away this month. And I'm gonna give away. I wanted to do it for Easter. I've missed it. I will organize a giveaway of a computer screen, screen, and some other stuff as well. How are we doing for time? 10 more minutes. Nothing happening here. On a 50K account, again, it's up to you. I don't think right now you need more than 2 to 3 micros for a 50K. There's plenty. Thanks, mate, for the channel. Before we bounced for the day. No worries, man. Can you explain my stop loss method? Well, it goes, my stop loss is always where I think a trade is no longer valid. All right, so unfortunately, where did I get taken out earlier? Where were we trying to trade? Oh, wait, once we rejected this, 50s, I was looking to resell this down for this breakdown. And once we started to reclaim, I can't remember if it was where it was, here or here, I was done with it because I wanted to see the leg form down here. So I would want to see 50s reject, stay heavy here and puke. We didn't see that. We went into chop. So your stop loss always needs to be where the trade's no longer valid. If you took this trade here, your stop loss should technically be up at this high, right? Some of you might have entered in this, right? Because you knew we were going to run 20s to 50s for the naked POC. Your stop loss needs to remain up there if you're looking for sell side. If you're a buyer right now in the market, then you're looking to protect this low. All right, this here would need to be protected, and you'd be TP1 into somewhere in here, and TP2 into here, and TP3 the other side of these. Right, and you're looking at a rotate. Like we talked about this a lot today. I think it's a very high chance we go in a rotation today, which is why I'm not really doing much because I don't trade rotations. I do my best to avoid rotations as much as I can. Well, 10 seconds is on your one. It's a 6-second delay, and it's the fastest it can be. So, I mean, that's your problem, not mine. I'm really sorry. Can always just get rid of the stream altogether. Like, it's the fastest it can be, and yet you're moaning. Some interesting people in the world. Okay, the giveaways are done, guys. There's some of you. When I draw my boxes, all right, I'll show you. That red zone is based on this, right? We've got overlapping level. You see this node here, and then this node here, and then POC in the middle. All right, so it's overlapping between these two. I know this is very, very thick here, and beyond that, it's also thick from here. Right, so I expect some kind of reaction to happen there. If we base out here, then I expect these stops to get run. So I've got a white line there because I know there are stops up there. We put that together on stream. I do not expect, right, the move just to go straight up in one go when we're coming into a thick level like this. This is the same level we were looking at last week. All right, we expect once we hit a naked point control to see some form of pullback from it. We're seeing it. The question now is really simple. All right, do we lose this? Right, if we have negative sell pressure this week, right, do we start to see this move here develop? If not, do we hold this and try and do this and get back into a 2-week naked point and control? Because again, these have not, or at least this one has not been attacked, right? So this is available this week if bulls take control, as is this chop, as is this and here. All right, all depends on sentiment, lots of moving parts, but it's all about where are people stuck, right? We have not touched this until today, right? So we left this level on Wednesday the 25th, traded away from it, came short of it last week. Remember, we were looking for this trade to tag it, didn't. Today we finally tagged it. That's why we were long into it. It wasn't the ideal long location, but we knew it was very probable we'll go there. We've already done the giveaways. Yes, everyone who talks in chat was available for the giveaway today. The only other giveaway is on my X feed. You can go to X @FlowZoneTrader. It's pinned to the top. That's the only other one you can do right now. And we'll do more giveaways tomorrow. We do giveaways every single day. Lunch coming up here in 5 minutes, folks. Do I actually trade? Yes, I actually trade, mate. I actually trade. Here's my score sheet from today. Can you copy and paste it? Can we do it? Can we do it? There we go. Small day for me today. Right, that's it. That's all I've made today. Not linked together. This is the main one. And this is the one I take money out of most days. I can show you. Like, this is my cash cow. Right, this. So last week I was up 11,000, took like a $4,000 or $5,000 payout. I took 3,000, then another 1,500, and now I'm up 10,700 again in it. So I'll be able to take more money out of it again, and I'll just keep repeating my TPT, and I'll probably just add some more 50Ks onto it. I've got some there to set live. I just haven't done them yet. I wait for like really good environments. Oh, I was on the wrong screen. Sorry, you need it here, don't you? My bad. There you go. So these are that's my TPT today. So I'm up 1,212, up 10,711 overall, and I traded a few Apex accounts, not many today, because I'm due some payouts like I talked about. So I'm waiting to take the payouts because I don't want to ruin that first. All right, and so I'm up these, and I can show you so you know that they're PAs. I should probably do that so you can see how much they're up before you guys say anything else. So here you go. All right, so these ones. All right, so 4,742 on that, 3,895, and I'm waiting to take some payouts on some other ones right now. All right, so yes, I do actually trade, mate. You trade prop accounts or my own account? Again, I trade both. I'm a swing trade. I'm much more active as a swing trader in my own accounts. I'm not looking to trade intraday in my own accounts aggressively. Very, very occasionally I will do that if I think there's a very, very good move setting up. But normally I'm looking for swing trades in my personal accounts, and I'm looking for day trades in prop firm accounts. And like I've talked about many times on the stream, for me personally, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what I do. I take my money out of my prop firm accounts and I reinvest it, whether that's into property, other businesses, or my swing trading. That's what I do. All right. I use it as a cash cow to grow money passively. If you can grow, look, the absolute minimum you should be doing is 3.84% a year, right? Any like investment account will give you that. If you put it in the S&P and QQQ, historically, you'll do 11% a year. And if you pick a good winner, you know, you can do hundreds of percents a year, right? So that's how I do it. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. That's what I do to grow my net worth. Right? You want passive income working in the background for you while you use prop firms and their leverage to keep your risk minimal and your ROI big. That's how I see it anyway. Cannot get past one payout. Been a total mess since I did that a month ago. Just slow down, Dean. You're just going to have to slow right down. How much do I risk on my 150k TPT per trade? Depends on the setup, but it really depends on the setup. If it's an A+ setup on TPT, I will risk more money on it. Why? Because I'm way past that buffer, right? So if I think there's, I'll give you an example. Let me think of an example here. I'm going to have to like draw it out. This is not ideal. Right, 2 A+ trades would be like a clean out, a duck below, and a loss of this week. All right, I'll probably take a decent chunk of risk here for that move if I feel good about it. Or if I probably won't get big risk long on here, but I'd consider, you know, this move here for rotation this week. I think it might take an extra week or two to set up. But if we lose this, if we clean out and lose this, this is probably going to become an A+ trade for me. TP1, TP2, TP3, and I think we have room much lower if we lose the bid. If we get things start to not go too good for America, I think there is chance for, let me find it, there is chance for a slide. All right, we have a gap down here which is unfilled. And we have this as value area low. Oh my God. All right, this node here, I think there's a chance that we come into this. It doesn't have to be this week, but if we get an A+ trade where we like poke above and lose this, I'll be looking for that. And then in here and here, all right, I'll be looking for swing long positions. That's what I will be looking for, especially on QQQ, right? If we can come and back test this guy here, if you're like, that's not possible. Okay, look how many times we do this move. It's like the same every time. Everyone goes, it's not possible to do that. We're never going to do it. Okay, watch. Breakout, pullback. Guess where we came to? Okay, great, fantastic. Guess where we came to? Right, this would be really nice. We can come back in here where I've got price alerts. We come deeper than that, again, we've got some gaps to fill. But I will start looking for long positions in here for that move historically. If I can get that move down there, what are we down at the moment? 12, 13%. If we can get 20 plus, it would be fantastic. We might not be able to do it. I've already got some long on just in case, but we've hit a low of 13s. If we fill that gap, we're going to hit a 23% pullback. If we fill this gap down into 492s, we'll see. We'll see, right? We'll see. People say it's not possible. Anything is possible, man. I'm not arrogant enough to think it's not possible. How do I get my VP by the end of the week to the left? I just draw it out. I draw it out and do extended hours, just like this one, right? So I've started this VP from the open in Sunday, and this is our current week VP, and this will continue, right? It will continue because I put extend right. It will continue to develop, and then at the end of each week, I take it off extended, and then I draw the new one. All right, into lunch here, folks. All right, nothing to do yet for me personally. Rotation day. I will be back again tomorrow, folks. We'll go again tomorrow. You guys trade safe here. For me, this is a leave alone market. Again, you, as a reminder, you're news driven. You've got Trump coming to talk in like an hour or something. Just be aware of where you are on the daily, like I keep talking about. Just be aware. In fact, let's refresh Tanuki here. Is it not going to let me refresh it? Seriously? Just be aware of this gamma level. Right, you're just basing out, but this is your breakdown point. If you get relief through here, maybe we run these stops. But again, here's your 20-day. This is all from the newsletter, folks. Here's your 20-day. Here's the naked POC. Mean reversion has already been complete. I would not be surprised for this. And then they will make the decision once we have a news event. Do not start bidding or selling in the middle of this range. You are going to ask to get chopped up. Just don't do it. Look how thick we are here. Right? Just try and be disciplined. Those of you who are range traders, maybe you bid the bottom or you sold the top. Otherwise, I would say do not be looking for continuation today in a market like this. This is like as clear as day, a leave alone day for me personally. So edges will pay for you today, nothing else, I think. And we'll go again tomorrow, folks. Trade safe, use hard stops, be kind to each other, all that good stuff. Be aware of the news that's coming. All right, make sure you're aware of the news that's coming. Do not be sitting in a position with no stop on when that news starts to drop and Trump starts to talk. You are asking to get absolutely murdered if you do that. All right, peace and love, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.